#JCPS Dig In, which stands for Digital Innovation, and share how you are using Savvis in your class and how some awesome tools that you are learning today as well. Good morning, Kelly. How are you?
Good morning.
Good.
Turn on our closed caption here. Thanks for having me this morning.
Looks perfect. Thank you.
All right. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Today, we're going to do a session that's going to look at our Elevate Science, grades 6 through 8 interactivities. And we're going to always keep in the forefront that we want our kids to be doers of science. And I know that with JCPS, that is very important, that our kids are experiencing the science. And I just wanted to reiterate what Chris had said, that when our teachers are logging in to Savvis Easy Bridge, they are going through Clever and then clicking on the Savvis Easy Bridge, and that will take them into the Savvis Realize platform. And this is what it looks like from our view when they log in. Again, we have our 3 tabs, our browse, our classes, and then they'll see their data tab there. And today I want to take a look, like I said, at the interactivities that are embedded within each topic. And these kind of make science more engaging for our students, allowing them to interact with the science topic that they are studying. This is a picture that I pulled up, and I was thinking about this. We met with the Ramsey teachers yesterday, so I want to give them a shout out. Very good sessions, very good input from them. When you think about the content or the standard, the NGSS standard that you're trying to teach in your classroom, I want us to all remember that the JCPS materials, the modules that have been developed and so, well done, those are the bigger boulders or the rocks that you're filling your jar with. And the Savvis materials, the Elevate Science, the Miller and Levine biology, the experience chemistry, that's the sand that's going to fill in around those larger rocks or boulders. So we are here as a supplemental material that teachers are going to use if they so choose. So we are an option. We'd like to be here to support you in any way that we can. All right, so interactivities, grades 6 through 8. Our middle school programs consist of 3 courses: Elevate Science course 1, 2, and 3. And now our AGM, Cliff Mims, has added to the list of programs the modules as well. And perhaps next week we'll talk about that in a little more detail. But these are the 3 programs that we're going to see when we log on to the Realize platform. When we're planning at the module level, or if we're looking at standards, or when we're using the Savvis materials, we would call it the topic level. What we're doing is we're always going to focus on the standards. So for me today, I'm going to show you some 6th grade interactivities. And the folks from Ramsey, if they're watching today, they're going to recognize this because we're going to look at the geoscience processes. And you notice here, the NGSS, Next Generation Science Standards, are listed right here. And these correlate with what we offer in our Elevate Science program. So we are going to connect those standards. So that's where I go to look when I'm working on documents with the science team at JCPS. So this is what the unit of study looks like at JCPS. It's the geoscience processes. And then I go back and correlate those to what do we have in Elevate Science that would look and line up with these along with those same standards. So what then would be the quote unquote sand that would fill in around those rocks, those major modules and activities that you're doing with JCPS. All right, so this is what the Realize platform would look like, and we are going to go live to it. But before we get there, I wanted to show that in the table of contents under Elevate Science Course 1, I have moved topic 5 using this rearrange button. I've moved it up to the top so that I don't have to scroll down every time to see that. So teachers can rearrange the Realize platform to make it easier for them to use. You can undo it. It's not permanent. Just makes it easier for us to use. So there's our topic 5. And we're going to be looking at that. So let's go live onto the platform. And I've brought it up here, right? So here's my Elevate Science Course 1. And at any time, please feel free to stop me if I'm going too quickly. I'm going to go into topic 5, Introduction to Earth's Systems. I want to highlight the interactivities in particular. And I'm sure in the chat, Chris has probably put my email address, my Cloud HQ. I have a Padlet where I am posting some things. So feel free to contact me anytime if you'd like to work on some lesson planning, if you have questions about these. But I'd like to run through some of the interactivities that you can find within the Elevate program that you could use to supplement what you're doing with the JCPS modules that have been built for you. One place to start, you're going to see that each topic has a topic launch. It consists of several lessons, and then you will have a topic close. In the topic launch, you will find a quest. The quest, I would define the quest as an adventure that excites and intrigues the students as they journey through a topic. And in this particular quest kickoff, our phenomena is going to be forest fires. So just as JCPS builds their modules around phenomena, so does Elevate Science. And this is a typical interactivity. Now, one thing about the quest, many people think when they're using Elevate Science that they either do the entire quest or they don't do it. You can choose to do different pieces of the quest, but the quest is a storyline that runs through the entire topic. But please don't feel like you have to do the whole thing. So here is the quest on forest fires, and you can make some decisions as a teacher whether to use this synchronously or asynchronously. Maybe because it's a quest kickoff, we could assign this asynchronously to our students and then come back and discuss it as a group. We could assign it individually or small group. Maybe asynchronously, we might provide guiding questions and then come back and discuss them when students meet synchronously. So here we have, they need your help. Oh no, there's a large forest fire near a populated town. And kids would read through this. Town officials need your help to make the community aware of the dangerous effects of the fire. Help officials prepare their information. You will need to do some research first. So now we're going to go on to the next screen. And here kids are going to now learn about the standards for this topic, which include learning about the different spheres of Earth, mainly the geosphere, atmosphere, biosphere, and hydrosphere. So they're going to do some information on their own. They're going to be doing some engagement and some investigation here. So they're going to do some reading. They're going to click on to the next one. And as you can see here, they're going to look at a photo, and they are going to have to be typing their answers in as to giving their opinions. How are the geosphere, atmosphere, biosphere, and hydrosphere represented in there in this photo? So we're still in the engage mode of our lesson. We click through effects of a forest fire. So as you can see here, they're looking at different Florida, and then is it different from a forest fire in California and wildfires? And then we've got a slider that they can move. So they're going to see the effects here. And it takes them through different screens. These are photos that illustrate the effects of a California forest fire. Again, they're going to move through this one. I'm just demonstrating the richness of all of the different activities that are involved in these interactivities. And I think as educators, we are going to have to do some instruction with our kids to show them how to use these the first time through. So explore the forest fire to learn the effects of the fire on each of the spheres. So when they click on these, there's going to be some information, and we do need to use our slider bars here to read a little bit about this. So fires require oxygen to burn. And again, we need to make some decisions as to whether we're going to do this synchronous or asynchronously at first, and how are we going to hold our kids accountable for doing these. So now we're going to see our geosphere over here. That'll be our biosphere. And also the nice thing about the Quest Kickoff, it's going to allow us to activate some prior knowledge. And there's our hydrosphere. Interesting, up here in the corner, we can check our progress, right? So if I was to speed through a page, it's going to tell me that I didn't do that in its entirety. We go on. Now I have an embedded video. We're talking about forest fires in a little more detail. I can turn my volume up. I also have closed captioning here. We can watch our video from NBC Learn. I can make this full screen. So again, teachers can also pick parts of the Quest Kickoff that they would like to use with their students as well. We move through here, organize your ideas. So we're using some graphic organizers. Kids can type their ideas to consider some of the immediate dangers of forest fires. So you can see that this particular activity is very in-depth. And has the kids thinking about this particular phenomena, and it's going to carry throughout the topic. So it's here, it's very complete for the teachers. It's all done for them. One-stop shopping with this particular interactivity, and that's located in the topic launch. There's also a checklist here. If you want to do the quest, as it moves through, the checklist is for the teachers to take a look at and gives them everything that's going to be included in the in the quest as it moves through the entire topic. And then there's also a rubric that's included for the grading of the quest kickoff. Any questions so far in our chat?
I think we are good currently, but let's see. Yep, we are good. They're just making sure that they share your resources for the Padlet and, of course, your email. So those two will be on the clip later on after we upload it again.
Okay, very good. So now we'll move into lesson 1. So when we get into the lessons, we have more interactivities here. And this will be the same for grades 6th, 7th, and 8th. And again, just want to remind teachers that if we use in JCPS the 5E model for lesson planning, and most of our interactivities are going to fall in the investigate, and then again in our synthesize. So we're going to find one here. It is an interactivity with describing systems. So if we look at this one, we can find some information about it. If we click on the information, we're going to be able to see the exact standard that this interactivity is going to deal with. So when we go back to our JCPS modules, we're going to know, are we dealing with the standard that we want? And for the geoscience process, this one is going to work nicely with that. So if we look here, we also have teacher resources, which is going to give us an answer key. Should we want that? And now we're going to look at this particular interactivity. And again, taking a quick look, deciding, do we want to assign this synchronously or asynchronously? Do we have to do some direct instruction before we get into this interactivity? Or is this something that we can ask the kids to do on their own and then come back and discuss it? So I think that's the biggest question when we're looking at these interactivities is, do they meet the standard that we want them to meet? And then how do we want to assign them? Right. This particular one, describing systems, we're looking at some bicycles here. Kids are doing some reading, and then they're going to talk about what different parts make up a bicycle. Maybe if we're doing this synchronously, we could have our kids work in groups. And we have a lot of places here where the kids are going to type in their text answers. Now here, properties of systems, the kids are going to actually be asked some questions to check for their understanding. And if you see a circle, that means that the question wants only one answer. So we might hit B here, and then what is the process? What is this process in a bicycle system? I'm just going to put C. I'm going to check my answer. Okay, great. Good job. Now it's going to allow me to move on. If I hadn't guessed correctly, it would make me go back and do it again. Now, this is going to now describe systems, compare it to the respiratory system, and now I have to identify some parts of this system and type my answer in here. And again, more explaining on this one and applying my concepts. So there are some higher level thinking skills here with the investigations. And this one's going to now tell me I only completed pages 1 and 2 because I haven't typed in these boxes. So it does show me my progress as a student. If I want to do some more direct instruction in the synthesize portion, which is the explain and explore, let's take a look at this interactivity here. This is what happens when you get ready early for your presentation, huh? All right. So for here, down here in synthesize, the explain and explore, if I wanted to do some teaching ahead of time, because now this particular interactivity, a little heavier on the scientific principles here. So as we move through this one, as a teacher, I'm asking kids to explain things. They're not just investigating anymore. They have to explain some things in this particular interactivity. So one thing that I could do is, for my direct instruction, is I might want to use my Realized Reader, which we have a teacher's edition e-text. You can see the beautiful graphics that we could actually use to teach from here as instructors. I might want to utilize my student sign in from here. We have the ability to use the e-text. So these Elevate Science courses come with the student e-text and the teacher e-text online. They are available to you. So we could go in and use the student e-text, and I'm going to use my menu over here, and I can go into the table of contents, and the students have access to these as well. And I can go into topic 5. And you know that it's important with JCPS. We don't want our kids reading about science first and then experiencing it. We want them to experience the science first and then go back and read about it. However, we do want them to be using literacy skills as well as math skills, and those are built in to the Elevate Science program. So with every topic, there will be a literacy skill, and in this particular topic, we are citing textual evidence. And we're also using math skills. We are interpreting a line graph. So for this interactivity, we could be looking through our e-text, which is right here for us. We could use this for forest fires, for our phenomena. We can be looking through lesson 1. There's our literacy connection and our math connection. We have our guiding questions that are listed for us. And so as a teacher, maybe I bring up this picture. I can use that for my direct instruction. And I could be asking my students now to be looking for text evidence to help them with that interactivity that meets the standard that we're working on and our student objectives. And it's right there. It does open in a new window, but those e-texts are available right here. And also when we are in the actual topic. So if I then go into an incognito window, what I did is I logged in as one of my students, and this is what the student would see as one of I assigned a student the quest kickoff for forest fires. And I guess we're not going to see that today. Apologize for that. I'll sign in again, start another incognito window. And I'm going to sign in as my student and see if we can see from the student point of view what the student would see. And they're going to sign on through their school system. And they're going to look at their classes, and let's see if we can make it work this time. Oh, it tells me it's past due, but it does give me the program start date, my due date, and let's see if we can get this to there. Okay, so here's what the student's going to see as they move through this particular activity. So they see the same thing, and now they can check their progress. But notice down here, they actually have a turn in button. And it's very important that we tell our students that they have to hit that turn in button in order to get it to go back through and be submitted on the platform and then back through the Google Classroom. So I hope this is helpful for the interactivities for our 6th through 8 teachers. And I would just like to encourage teachers to just try it. Just try one. Try one interactivity that might work with your standard, with one of the modules that you're using. See if you like it. See if your students like it. Decide whether you want to use it synchronously or asynchronously. Start small, and if you want extra help or any type of lesson planning help, I'm here. There's my email and my Cloud HQ. I also have a Padlet as well. And we're always excited about science and helping in any way that we can.